Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Our topic for today is IFRS translation. Translation of IFRS material is a vital part to achieving IFRS mission to develop a single set of high-quality global accounting standard for use all around the world. Translation, adoption, and copyright TAC team is the one that responsible to throughout all the translation process. Many people are very curious how IFRS translation works, and here is the common question that TAC team always get. First, why is there an official translation policy? There is a lot of the reason, and several of it is for the successful implementation of IFRS standard of the translation. Expert input is required because it will ensure the resulting of translation is accurate and appropriate for all countries and that have the different language. Only one translation per language is permitted because to avoid the compare and to have a long term of sustainability of high quality translation. Lastly, IFRS Foundation own the copyright, so all the reproducing and also the translating must have a permission. Second question is about what the official translation process. As a simple answer, we can get it is the professional translation and been reviewed by the committee expert. About the committee expert, it will be explained in the long explanation after this by my partner. But according to IFRS Foundation PDF state that there are 5 steps and the official translation process. Start with the foundation extract the key term from the standard for translating by the translating partner. The review committee may add the additional key term as necessary, and with the review committee review the draft translating and text it finalized and sent to the foundation for approval. The approved translation is the published, and the rest you can see at the slide. Question number 3. What are the steps to start the translating project? First, read and familiar yourself with the licensing policy for translation and reproduction of the IFRS standard for adoption. Second, contact the TAC team for discuss. Third, enter into the agreement with the IFRS Foundation. Next, set up the review committee and arrange the translator. Lastly, you need to obtain the material from the IFRS Foundation. Once the agreement is in the place, the relevant project manager from the TAC team will provide you with the relevant material for translation. Number 4 is for reproduction of translation IFRS material is you need to contact the TAC team and discuss the requirement and put the appropriate copyright permission in the place. Number 5 question is how IFRS Foundation help the process. Before I answer, yes, IFRS Foundation is very helpful in the process of translation, and they have many things, but 2 of it is 1. They will help to review and approve the composition of the review committee, including the coordinator. Second, provide file for translation or review and any available reference material. The rest of it you can see in the slide. And for the information, you also wonder what is IFRS Foundation, right? According to AIS Plus, the IFRS Foundation is the legal entity under which the International Accounting Standard Board and the foundation is governed by the board of 22 trustees. And the last question is, why does IFRS Foundation own the copyright to all the translation? That's true that IFRS Foundation owns the all intellectual property right of the material. This is given to the foundation to maintain the control over the translation and also the high quality of the translation version of the material. For information, intellectual property rights are often granted for the innovative product and process through patent, cultural literacy, or data software work copyright, design, trademark, microchip, and trade secret according to the Investopedia 2021.
Next, we're moving on to translated content. IFRS publish uncompany issue standard and required standards in different language. They publish translated revision and new standards. Some material are free with basic registration, whilst others require a professional subscription or purchase from their shop. This will be made clear as a person accesses the materials. They also have a terminology lookup tool, which is a multilingual tool which allows fast searching of key terms used in the official translation of IFRS standard in up to 25 languages, which are available to users with premium subscription. IFRS Taxonomy Translation. The IFRS Foundation uses English as the main language to publish IFRS taxonomy updates, the annual IFRS taxonomy, and IFRS taxonomy supporting material. They translate the yearly IFRS taxonomy, the annual IFRS taxonomy illustrated, which is ITI, and versioning information. These translations come following the annual English IFRS taxonomy. The translation helps globalize the IFRS taxonomy. The annual IFRS taxonomy, versioning information, and ITI are accessible in this language, such as Chinese, Dutch, France, German, Hungarian, Italian, Japanese, Korean, Portuguese, Spanish, Turkish, and Ukraine. The IFRS for SME standards. The IFRS for SME standards reflect 5 types of simplification full of IFRS standard. The first one is some topics in full IFRS standard are omitted because they are not relevant to typical SMEs. Second, some accounting policies option in full IFRS standard are not allowed because a more simplified method is available to SMEs. Third, many of the recognition and measurement principles that are in full IFRS standards have been simplified. Fourth, substantial further disclosure are required. 5. The text of full IFRS standard has been redrafted in plain English for easier understandability and translation. 6. The IFRS for SMEs standards include an option for entities to apply the recognition and measurement requirement of AIS 39 Financial Instrument Recognition and Measurement. IFRS Standard Navigator. Through basic registration, the IFRS Foundation gives free access to PDF files of the current year's consolidated IFRS standard and IFRIC interpretation, the conceptual framework for financial reporting, and IFRS practice statements, as well as available translation of standard. Subscribers to IFRS Digital can access to the full standards and all of the documents that go with them. Depending on one subscription level, look symbol will show reader which content is available. Next, we're moving on to a review committee. What are the review committee? A review committee comprised of financial reporting specialists verifies the technical accuracy of the translation. Each language has its own review committee, which one member designated as coordinator. The committee consists of a representative from several sectors, which is preparers, users, academics, and standard setters, who volunteer their time. The committees should include representation from all nations that utilize the language in question. The criteria to become a member: first, native speaker of target language; second, good understanding of English; Third, demonstrable technical proficiency and knowledge of financial accounting and reporting. Individuals with this skill will strengthen the credibility of the review committee and the efficacy and efficiency of the translation process. And the fourth, commitment to the mission of the foundation, to the IFRS Foundation and the public interest. Besides, the role of coordinator involved responsibility of coordination of the translation and review. This will typically involve the liaising the foundation to establish timetable. Second, forwarding planning and other information to the review committee's members. Third, distributing the review work among the review committee members, setting and monitoring timelines. Fourth, supervising and resolving conflicting terminology suggestion or correction to the translated text made by the review committee members. And lastly, notifying the TSC team of any terminology or styles issue in the English text that make it difficult to understand or translate. B. Have a casting vote in the event of a tied committee vote and final approval of document. C. Responsibility for compliance with this process requirement. D. Obtain approval from the TSC team for new review committee members. E. Consider accepting new committee members proposed by the TSC team and, if accepted, be responsible for fully involving them in the process. F. Submit a short quarterly report to the TSC team that include a summary of the committee's work in the last quarter. For example, a list of files that are being worked on or any delays to the agreed schedule. And lastly, submit an annual report of the review committee's composition and activities to the TSC team. Role of the IFRS Foundation in the translation process. Translation of IFRS are initiated by the Foundation's TSC team in response to requests from jurisdiction adopting or developing an interest in IFRS. The TSC team oversees and provides support for the operation and process of the review committee throughout all stages of the process. Each language will be assigned a TSC project manager who will act and key support and contact. The role of TSC team in the translation process include A. Reviewing and approving the composition of the review committee to ensure an appropriate balance of perspective and designating one person as the coordinator of the review committee. B. Reviewing regularly and in a timely manner, together with the coordinator, the review committee's process. C. Providing files or translation or review and relevant reference material as appropriate. D. Monitoring the effectiveness of the review committee. E. Liaising with AISB technical staff regarding the meaning of the English text. F. Providing advice on translation, best practice and support for computer-assisted translation (CAT) software and the English source files. G. Reviewing the official translation process from time to time and updating as necessary. H. Passing feedback from the public on the review committee for consideration.
News and update is divided into two, one for the latest news and the other one for IFRS TSC update. Latest news such as in the IFRS Taxonomy 2017 now available in Hungary, Korean and also Spanish. And for the TSC update is the roundup of all the most recent information regarding translation IFRS foundation material. It will publish on the regular basis and include information about all news and the forthcoming translation and other TSC news.
For the conclusion, IFRS translation is very important because it improves the comparability and quality of financial information around the world, making it easier for investors and other market participants to make smart economic decisions. I think that's all from us. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye.